Seniors, 4 worst seafoods you should never touch and 4 you must eat. They told you seafood was the healthiest protein on earth. They told you it would keep your heart young, your brain sharp, and your joints pain-free. But here's the trillion-dollar truth they'll never admit on TV. Not all seafood is created equal, and in some cases, what's on your plate could be silently destroying your health from the inside out. Behind the smiling fishmongers and glossy supermarket displays lies one of the most profitable food industries in the world, built on exports, marketing tricks, and half-truths that keep seniors eating the very things that accelerate aging, inflamed joints, and even sabotage memory. This isn't about pollution or watching your cholesterol. This is about the seafood itself, its natural biology, its hidden toxins, and how your body reacts differently after 60. The stakes couldn't be higher. One wrong choice twice a week could mean the difference between living independently well into your 80s or facing the slow, crippling decline of lost mobility, heart trouble, and cognitive fog. In this video, we're pulling the curtain back. You'll discover the 4 worst seafoods you should never touch again, ranked from bad to lethal, and the 4 best that can actually reverse damage, restore energy, and protect your brain. And you need to stick around, because number 2 on our must-eat list isn't just a food, it's a decades-old delicacy backed by a shocking clinical study showing its ability to slash inflammation markers by nearly 40% in just weeks. Every single reference is linked in the description below so you can see the science yourself. Before we dive in, tell me, where are you watching from? I'm reading and replying to every single comment, and trust me, your seafood habits might be completely different depending on your country. Now, without any further ado, let's start with number 4 on the list of seafoods you should never let cross your plate. Number 4. Crab sticks. Imitation crab. They look like seafood. They taste like seafood. They're even marketed with pictures of waves and fishing boats on the package. But crab sticks, also called imitation crab, are one of the most misleading healthy foods you'll ever find in the frozen aisle. Here's the truth. Imitation crab contains little to no actual crab. Instead, it's made from a highly processed paste called surimi, which is usually ground up white fish mixed with starches, sugar, vegetable oils, artificial flavors, and food dyes to make it look and taste like real crab meat. Meet George, 69. He started buying crab sticks because they were cheap, easy to prepare, and seemed like a smarter option than processed lunch meats. He'd toss them into salads, sandwiches, and pasta, thinking he was getting all the benefits of seafood without the high price tag. But over the months, his blood sugar crept up, his waistline expanded, and his blood pressure readings started hitting dangerous highs. His doctor explained that the starches and sugars in imitation crab, combined with its high sodium load, were stressing his heart and fueling inflammation. A study published in Food Chemistry found that imitation crab contains up to 800 milligrams of sodium per 100 grams, which means a single serving can deliver more than a third of your daily sodium limit in one go. And because it's stripped of natural omega-3 fats during processing, you're getting all the salt and additives without the heart protective benefits of real seafood. That's a dangerous trade-off, especially if you're over 60, when high sodium intake can quickly lead to fluid retention, heart strain, and increased stroke risk. If you love crab, the best choice is real, wild-caught crab meat, preferably fresh or frozen without heavy additives. Yes, it's pricier, but you're paying for real nutrition, not a lab-engineered imitation. Remember, when it comes to your health, cheap can turn out to be very expensive later on. And speaking of expensive mistakes, this next seafood can drain your brain health faster than you'd ever expect. Number 3. King mackerel. It sounds regal, and the name alone makes it seem like a premium catch. But king mackerel is one of the most deceptive healthy fish you can put on your plate, and it's especially dangerous for seniors. While mackerel in general has a reputation for being rich in omega-3 fatty acids, the king variety is loaded with something far more harmful: mercury. Mercury is a toxic heavy metal that can build up in your body over time, especially in large, long-lived predatory fish like king mackerel. Once it's in your system, it can damage your brain, nerves, and heart, and getting it out is not easy. Meet Linda, 72. She started eating king mackerel twice a week because she'd heard mackerel was great for the heart. At first, she felt fine. But over the months, she began noticing tingling in her fingers, occasional headaches, and strange memory lapses. Her doctor eventually ordered blood tests and found her mercury levels were far above the recommended safe limit. That's when Linda learned that king mackerel is one of the top mercury-contaminated fish in the world, so dangerous that the U.S. FDA warns pregnant women and older adults to avoid it completely. Research from the Environmental Protection Agency shows that mercury exposure in older adults is strongly linked to cognitive decline, heart arrhythmias, and muscle weakness. And because mercury accumulates over years, even occasional consumption can push you into the danger zone faster than you think, especially if your liver and kidneys aren't working at peak efficiency anymore. If you want the omega-3 benefits of mackerel without the mercury risk, smaller species like Atlantic mackerel or chub mackerel are much safer options. They live shorter lives, have lower mercury levels, and still pack the fatty acids your heart and brain need. But when it comes to king mackerel, think of the crown as a warning sign, not a badge of health. And while king mackerel can slowly poison your nervous system, the next seafood on this list can send your blood pressure into dangerous territory almost overnight. Before we go on, if you're getting value from this video, go ahead and tap that like button, and make sure to subscribe and turn on the bell icons so you never miss out on powerful health tips like these. Number 2. Squid. It's tender, chewy, and shows up in everything from calamari rings to seafood salads. But squid, especially the kind most people buy in restaurants or frozen packs, can quietly sabotage your health after 60. The danger isn't just in the squid itself, but in what it does to your cholesterol and blood pressure over time. While squid is naturally low in fat, it's surprisingly high in dietary cholesterol, about 231 milligrams in just a 3-ounce serving, according to the USDA. For many seniors, that's almost the entire recommended daily limit in one small portion. And when your arteries are already stiffening with age, that extra cholesterol can be the push that accelerates plaque buildup and raises your risk of heart attack or stroke. Take George, 69, for example. He loved ordering fried calamari as a lighter alternative to red meat. He didn't realize that the squid itself was already high in cholesterol, and frying it in oil was doubling the cardiovascular hit. Over the next year, his routine checkups showed rising LDL cholesterol levels and elevated blood pressure, even though he was eating less meat. His cardiologist was blunt: ditch the squid or prepare for more meds. That wake-up call made George rethink what he considered healthy seafood. The science backs this up. A study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that older adults who consumed more than 200 milligrams of dietary cholesterol daily had a 17% higher risk of cardiovascular disease compared to those who kept it lower. Add in the fact that most squid dishes are deep-fried or heavily salted, and you've got a perfect storm for arterial damage and water retention, both of which can make heart problems spiral fast. If you do enjoy squid, the safest route is to keep portions small, skip the fryer, and pair it with fiber-rich vegetables that help offset cholesterol absorption. But for most seniors, it's a seafood best enjoyed rarely, if at all, especially when there are better, heart-friendly options out there. And speaking of better options, the next seafood is often marketed as a protein-packed snack, but what's really hiding inside can slowly weaken your muscles and bones. Number 1. Shrimp. It's the most popular seafood in America and one of the riskiest for seniors over 60. Shrimp is light, flavorful, and often sold as a lean protein. But behind that innocent image hides a nutritional trap that can quietly chip away at your heart, joints, and even your brain health. Just 3 ounces of shrimp pack a staggering 189 milligrams of cholesterol. And that's before you factor in the cocktail sauces, butter dips, and heavy seasonings that almost always come with it. For seniors already battling slower metabolism, stiffer arteries, and more fragile circulation, that extra cholesterol doesn't just sit in your bloodstream. It can quickly contribute to plaque buildup and narrowing of the arteries, making heart attacks and strokes far more likely. Meet Carol, 72. She thought swapping red meat for shrimp twice a week was a heart-smart move. But within a year, her blood work showed a spike in LDL cholesterol and triglycerides. She didn't connect the dots until her doctor asked about her diet, and she realized that her light seafood dinners were quietly working against her. A follow-up scan revealed early signs of atherosclerosis, hardening of the arteries, something she had been trying to avoid for decades. Research confirms the risk. A Journal of the American College of Nutrition study found that high cholesterol foods like shrimp can raise LDL cholesterol by up to 7% in older adults, even when overall fat intake is low. And that's not the only problem. Much of the shrimp in supermarkets and restaurants comes from large-scale farms overseas, where it's often treated with sodium tripolyphosphate, STPP, to retain moisture, boosting sodium content to over 400 milligrams per serving. For anyone with high blood pressure, that's a dangerous hidden load. If you absolutely love shrimp, the safest approach is to make it a rare treat. Choose wild-caught over farmed, and cook it simply without butter-heavy sauces. But for many seniors, cutting it out altogether is the smartest move, especially when there are marine foods that can actually protect your heart, not threaten it. And that's exactly where we're heading next, into the 4 must-eat seafoods that can keep you strong, protect your brain, and even help your joints to stay pain-free. Number 4. Scallops. Scallops might look like a luxury health food, small, delicate, and often praised for being low-fat. But for seniors, they can be one of the most underrated superfoods for muscle, nerve, and heart health. These tender shellfish are a powerhouse of lean protein and contain an impressive dose of vitamin B12, with just 3 ounces giving you more than 100% of your daily needs. That matters because B12 deficiency becomes increasingly common after 60 due to reduced stomach acid and absorption, leading to fatigue, numbness in hands and feet, memory issues, and even balance problems. Scallops also provide omega-3 fatty acids, which help reduce inflammation and protect against heart disease. 2 critical concerns for older adults. Meet Harold, 69, who had been feeling more tired than usual and thought it was just getting old. After adding scallops into his diet twice a week, pan-seared with olive oil and lemon, his energy returned within a month, and his annual checkup showed improved B12 levels and healthier triglyceride numbers. He realized he didn't need expensive supplements, just smart food choices that fit his needs. Science backs this up. A study published in Nutrition Research found that regular shellfish consumption, including scallops, was associated with lower blood pressure and improved heart health markers in adults over 60. Unlike many red meats or processed proteins, scallops are naturally low in saturated fat and calories, making them ideal for maintaining muscle without burdening your cardiovascular system. Plus, their high taurine content, an amino acid, supports nerve function and may help keep your reflexes sharp as you age. To get the most benefits, choose wild-caught scallops over farmed, avoid heavy cream sauces, and prepare them with heart-healthy oils and fresh herbs. This way, you're boosting your energy, brain function, and heart health in every bite. But as good as scallops are, the next must-eat seafood on this list packs an even stronger anti-inflammatory punch that can help protect your joints well into your 80s. Number 3. Mussels. Mussels are one of the ocean's most overlooked treasures for seniors, and yet they carry a nutrient profile that rivals, and in some ways surpasses, even the most expensive seafood on the market. These humble shellfish are packed with high-quality protein for muscle maintenance, omega-3 fatty acids for heart and brain health, and an incredible boost of iron and zinc, both of which are vital for energy, immunity, and wound healing. Just a 3-ounce serving delivers over 340% of your daily vitamin B12 needs, which is a game changer for anyone over 60 struggling with fatigue, brain fog, or tingling in the extremities caused by low B12 levels. Meet Susan, 72, who had stopped gardening because her knees ached and her energy tanked halfway through the day. A friend suggested adding mussels to her weekly menu, steamed with garlic, parsley, and a splash of white wine. Within weeks, Susan noticed less inflammation in her joints, better focus when reading, and the stamina to spend her afternoons outside again. Her doctor wasn't surprised. Research in the Journal of the Science of Food and Agriculture has shown that the specific omega-3s in mussels, EPA and DHA, can reduce inflammatory markers in older adults, helping both mobility and mental clarity. Mussels are also rich in selenium, a mineral that works like a shield against oxidative stress, slowing down the cellular aging process. That's particularly important for seniors because oxidative stress plays a role in muscle breakdown, memory decline, and weakened immunity. And unlike many fish, mussels have one of the lowest mercury levels in all seafood, making them a safe weekly staple. When buying mussels, look for tightly closed shells and cook them within 24 hours for the freshest flavor and best nutrient retention. A quick steam or light sauté is all you need to turn them into a heart-healthy, brain-boosting meal. And while mussels are phenomenal for overall vitality, the next seafood we'll cover has an almost magical ability to repair tissues, including skin, joints, and cartilage, faster than you thought possible. Number 2. Seaweed, wakame nori dulse. Seaweed isn't just a sushi wrap or a garnish. It's one of the most nutrient-dense foods on the planet, and for seniors, it can be a literal lifeline for joint health, energy, and even sharper thinking. Wakame, nori, and dulse are all loaded with iodine, a mineral your thyroid uses to regulate metabolism, energy production, and body temperature. And here's the kicker. Iodine deficiency is surprisingly common in people over 60, especially if you've cut back on table salt for heart health. Without enough iodine, your thyroid slows down, leading to fatigue, brittle nails, hair thinning, and unexplained weight gain. A single sheet of nori can contain up to 70% of your daily iodine needs, and wakame can offer even more. Meet Harold, 69, who loved crossword puzzles but had been feeling mentally foggy and sluggish for months. His daughter, who lived in Japan, suggested adding wakame miso soup to his diet twice a week. Within a month, Harold noticed something incredible. He was remembering names faster, solving puzzles quicker, and had more energy in the afternoons. This wasn't just placebo. A study in nutrients found that seniors with adequate iodine intake had significantly better cognitive performance compared to those who were deficient, especially in memory and processing speed. Seaweed isn't just about iodine, though. It's a rare plant source of omega-3 fatty acids in the form of EPA, the same type found in fish oil, which helps reduce inflammation in joints and blood vessels. It also contains fucoidan, a unique compound shown in lab studies to stimulate immune cell activity and even promote cartilage repair, something no land vegetable can match. Plus, wakame and dulse are rich in magnesium and calcium, the dynamic duo for bone strength, which becomes even more critical after 60 to avoid fractures and osteoporosis. For maximum benefit, use dried wakame in soups, sprinkle shredded nori over salads, or add dulse flakes to roasted vegetables. Just be mindful of portion sizes if you have thyroid issues, since too much iodine can be just as problematic as too little. Seaweed can truly transform your energy and brain power, but our number one seafood goes even further. It's not just a food, it's nature's collagen delivery system, and it can visibly improve your mobility and skin health in just weeks. This one might shock you. Number 1. Shark. Shark might be the last seafood you'd expect to see on the must-eat list, especially since larger species like great whites or makos are notorious for high mercury. But here's the surprising truth. When you choose small, sustainably caught shark species like dogfish or gummy shark, you get one of the most concentrated nutrient-dense proteins on the planet without the same toxic risk. The meat is lean, rich in omega-3 fatty acids that protect your heart and brain, and packed with selenium, a mineral shown in Nutrients Journal research to help neutralize mercury's effects in the body. This balance of healthy fats and protective antioxidants makes it a powerful anti-inflammatory choice for seniors battling joint stiffness or memory decline. Meet George, 72, who avoided all shark for years because of what he heard. On a trip to the coast, he tried a grilled portion of dogfish at a local fishery. Within weeks of adding it twice a month, his joint pain eased and his triglyceride numbers improved at his next checkup. Preparation is key. Steaming, grilling, or baking with herbs and olive oil keeps the meat tender and maximizes its heart protective benefits without adding unhealthy fats. Of course, the secret is preparation and portion control. Seniors should stick to 3 to 4 ounce servings, no more than 2 or 3 times a month, and only choose small species from trusted, sustainable fisheries. Look for the Marine Stewardship Council, MSC, Blue Label, or buy directly from local fish markets that can tell you the exact catch. Avoid frying, which destroys the healthy fats, and instead grill, bake, or steam. Pairing shark with vitamin C-rich vegetables like broccoli or bell peppers can further improve the absorption of its minerals and antioxidants. And unlike heavily processed seafood products, shark offers all of these benefits without hidden sodium, starches, or fillers that can spike blood pressure or blood sugar. When you hear shark, you might still think danger. But for informed seniors, small sustainably sourced shark can be a game changer, protecting your brain, nourishing your muscles, and keeping inflammation in check without the mercury overload you've been told to fear. This is why, on this list, shark isn't just safe. It's the single most powerful, underappreciated seafood you can add to your diet after 60. If you're over 60, the seafood you choose could be either your greatest ally or your most silent enemy. We've seen how certain types, like shrimp loaded with cholesterol or squid packed with inflammatory compounds, can slowly chip away at your heart, brain, and joints without you even noticing until the symptoms are hard to reverse. But we've also uncovered how the right choices, like scallops rich in lean protein, mussels bursting with omega-3s, or mineral-packed seaweed, can fuel your body with exactly what it needs to stay strong, mobile, and mentally sharp for years to come. So which of these seafoods have you been eating regularly, and are you ready to make the switch? If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them below. Thanks for watching.